Meet Diedra Alexander with the Property Resource Option.
Hi, I'm Diedra Alexander, and I am the owner of a property resource option. I like to think of myself as a pro. Get it? APRO, a property resource option. For you.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And my name is Angela Thompson, and I am with Archangel. And I am here with my bestie friend here. We are both members right now of Top Ladies of Distinction Incorporated, specifically the Southern Maryland chapter. But prior to that, we were dance moms. That's how we first started getting connected. Our girls danced together, and we have been friends ever since. And I love me some her. She is incredibly resourceful. She's dynamic. She's a great person. She tells you like it is. And I can tell you for a fact that if you have an opportunity to meet her, you will see what I see. And so I'm so honored that Diedra, that you are here with me and we're having this conversation and we're going to talk about your business. We're going to talk about what inspired you to start your business. And then we're going to let everybody know how they can reach out to you to take advantage of your services. So you described your business, basically what it does, but a really cute little acronym. But let's talk about how you got the name. What led you to the name that you currently have with your business?
Okay, so my story is that about 8, 9 years ago, I worked for a Fortune 200 company, and they went through a right sizing exercise. And I ended up being one of those that did not make the cut for various reasons. So I thought, what am I going to do now? After applying for job after job after job and not getting any responses, I said, well, Lord, are you trying to tell me something? And he said, not. Yes, I am. I'm trying to tell you that you can do something on your own with all of the skills that you've acquired working for this company for 26 years. Why not use that to go out and help others do what you did for them? And what that is construction project management for large to mid-sized construction projects. I have transitioned some homes in DC in the past. I like to say transition, not flipped, because people think of flipped as something negative. I like to know that I transitioned some homes for the next family, as well as I couple that with real estate. I'm a realtor. I am licensed in Maryland and the District of Columbia. So I thought it would be a great idea in order to pull all of that together, I want it to be a resource for everyone, a property resource option for
Mhm.
all of you. So
I
that's
love
it.
that. What an inspiration. And I think your story, you're her story, because that's what this is about. We are celebrating women business owners during Women's History Month. And so everything has its origins, just like we talked about what your inspiration was. History, we've recoined and we've repurposed, we've pivoted. So now it's her story. And we thank you so much for sharing yours. Your story is like so many of ours. But what we failed to forget is what you remembered, and that is God gifted you the talents that you have, and you're able
Absolutely.
to repurpose those talents to make it good for someone else and to fulfill your design purpose, the passion that fuels you, that will lead and has led to your ultimate purpose. And so kudos to you for following that path. Let's talk about some of the customers that you have. When we transition homes, I know we're talking about the homeowner, could be first time home buyers or those that have bought homes before. But when you talk about the construction projects, I think what we're talking about is even beyond that. We may be talking about still homeowners, but perhaps other folks too that have a vested interest in construction. So let's talk about your customer base.
Okay. So right now I do have a contract with a nonprofit in Maryland who receives funds from Prince George's County, who has receives funds from Maryland to help homeowners in the Prince George's County area to go in and make repairs to their homes. We're trying to ensure that individuals can stay in their homes, but we go in to make sure that their homes are safe, that they're
Mhm.
healthy, and that they're energy efficient. So I'll go in and inspect the home, come up with a scope of work. There is a maximum budget of $60,000. This program, which is called the Housing Rehabilitation Assistance Program, and that's being administered through the Housing Initiative Partnerships. It's a nonprofit here in Maryland. So I go in and do the inspection, come up with a scope of work, as well as, work with the homeowner to determine what the scope would be, again, to address any safety issues, health issues, or energy efficient issues that they may have currently. But first of all, we have to ensure that there's no mold, lead, or asbestos in the home. That's first and foremost. Then we look at replacing windows, HVAC systems, roofs, even kitchens, bathrooms. If you have plumbing issues, electrical issues, those are things that I identify, include them in the scope of work, and then we have a group of about 5 contractors that come in and bid on the jobs. You can't use your own contractor. They have to be vetted through HIP. So then I help the homeowner manage the project. The contract is between the homeowner and the contractor. However, I'm there to manage through any challenges, questions, or issues that may come about.
That's an awesome program. If folks feel like they want to, if folks, I guess one criteria at a minimum would be that they have to live in Prince George's County. So
Correct.
those folks that are in Prince George's County, if they wanted to know more about the program, where do they go to get that information?
They should visit the housinginiativepartnership.org, and you'll find various programs that are available. But the particular one that I work on is the Housing Rehabilitation Assistance Program. And this program also, although it is a loan against your property, there is no payment and no interest for the life that you live in the home.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So there are no payments. But it is considered, a lien against the property. And, if you sell, then of course, that's when you would pay it back. But if you live in there for the rest of your life, you don't make a payment and there's no interest.
Okay. I would assume too, maybe when the person passes on, then whoever inherits the home is then responsible for paying the whatever that cost was. Okay.
Well, they are responsible if they sell the home and or if they qualify as well, then it continues. But they would too have to qualify for the program for that to continue in that property.
That sounds awesome. So that by itself is enough for anybody to spend all of their time on, but that's not all that you do.
No.
Let's also talk about the homes that you're selling. And so what is the market like? What are we still in this bidding war every time that we want to go out and buy a house? We have to be
hoping to get a contract.
Yes.
Well, with my experience thus far this year, I think it's getting better. However, we still have a low inventory, which drives prices up. Demand would drive the prices up. So I'm seeing that I have not had any buyers thus far this year. I've had sellers though. Okay. And I've sold some really wonderful properties. Within a week, we're under contract. So I not only sell, single family homes, but we do condos, townhouses. I even do projects that need total renovations. Mm. So I like that as well. So I love everything real estate. So that's why having my real estate license would just, bring everything that I love full circle, that I can be the only resource, hopefully, that you would need.
I love that. Is now a good time? People are thinking about selling their home. Is now a good time to sell?
Absolutely. We're coming up on our spring season, and that's when people are really out looking. But I would have to tell you, in the 8 years that I've been selling real estate, it seems like year round, it has not been a problem getting a property sold.
That's good to know. What about the interest rate? Does that have any impact on sellers or buyers?
It does for a buyer. If the prices of the homes are going up and the interest rates are going up, then that makes it a little harder to qualify for a certain, price point. So what you have to do is most likely partner with a lender, and that lender can give you what your sweet spot is, what that number is that you can qualify for at the current interest rate. Okay. And what they take into account, which people don't think about, is not only your current bills, but if the neighborhood has an HOA, all of those fees have to be considered as part of your debt to income. You have to come up with the down payment as well as the closing cost. I know there are a lot of programs out there that will help first-time home buyers.
Hmm.
You're able to buy down points. So again, that first point of contact should be with the lender to understand
Ah,
what your options are.
okay.
And then you
Yeah.
find me.
And then we find you.
Yes.
Absolutely. If we're interested more in equity, should we be looking for the fixer upper where we have equity up front, or should we kind of think through, well, maybe, fixing it up has not only its challenges and it's time consuming, but there may be things that we unveil that's going to be even more costly. And so if I buy something that's already fixed to my standards, maybe that's a better way to go. So how do I settle that in my mind in terms of which avenue is best when I'm looking for real estate?
Well, I think what you should do is determine what your long-term goal is. So it's not just short term, because if you're looking for an investment type property, and not all properties are just investment or fixer upper,
Hmm.
because there are loans out there. There's one, a 203K, which gives you funds or a loan for the property, but also allows you so much money to improve the property.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you have the heart to go in and make some improvements, then that may be the thing for you. But I will tell you, it is not easy,
Hmm.
to vet the right contractor, to ensure that you're getting the right price. All of that needs to be done up front, before you get the loan. Because
Hmm.
again, the lender will say, okay, how much you're going to need. If the house costs 300 and you need 200,000 to fix it up, I'm not sure what their requirement is in terms of the percentage of the loan
I see.
that's for improvements. So
Okay.
again, the lender is your best friend, and then your agent
Okay.
is next in line. Now, if you're not willing to or have no interest in a fixer upper,
Hmm.
then go ahead and get almost everything you want. It's at least the
Hmm.
big things. If it's something you can go in and upgrade kitchens and bathrooms later, you
Okay.
know,
Hmm.
and just know, if someone has a decent property on the market, that seller's trying to get the most that they can as well. And
Hmm.
there are tools that we use to determine that. We look at comps from the area, and then there are other tools that we use to determine how much this property is really worth in its current condition. I have
Hmm.
a property now on the market, and I know that the kitchen and the bathrooms need to be upgraded. So I spoke with the seller and said, hey, these other properties have all of this going on.
Hmm.
Their price is this. This is about how much it would cost to renovate these areas of your property. So I think we could come down a little bit. So that when agents say, oh, I think your property is overpriced, I can speak to the fact that we took those things into consideration. And that's why it's a lower price than the
Ah,
house that has the upgrades.
okay.
So just know that agents are thinking through everything possible before they put that price out there.
It's good to know. I mean, it is really good to know. It's that yin and yang that I think folks are struggling with, especially if you struggle to get those little bit of funds up front for the down
Right.
payments and for the closing cost, and now you see the shell of a house that really looks like you could make it work long term, but how long could you live with it in the condition that it's in
Mm-hmm.
before you start, and then when you have that money look downstream. And so as opposed to going a couple of blocks over and finding everything you want, maybe at a higher price, but when you factor the monthly cost that you have into the home, you're paying, perhaps less with less time off of your plate, that you probably don't have anyway, to
Exactly.
go ahead and to put in there. So if we bought a house that needed repair, is that something that you could help with also with your property management and construction part of your company?
Sure. I can
Oh,
come over and give you ideas, a list of contractors that I have on my list, as well as, working with them to come up with a not only scope of work, but what that price might be.
okay.
And I know it's shocking to a lot of people, but depending upon how big your kitchens and your bathrooms are, just doing, replacing cabinets for a full kitchen can be very expensive, and then you're thinking of a stone countertop. All of
Mm,
that you have to take into account. because it's not just the cabinets. You may look at, okay, well, can I just refinish what I have?
Mm-hmm.
But what makes most sense, to get new or to refinish, because that's going to be a total mess to go
Mm-hmm.
in and sand and all of that. But is it doable? Absolutely. Would
Mm-hmm.
you have time to, save up? You're not going to get, you may not want to do everything at once or can do everything at once. You can save and say, okay, in 2 years, we're going to do the kitchen. What you
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure is that the property fits your daily needs. If you don't have to go in and do it right away, can I live with this for a couple of years? That's
Mm-hmm.
how I like to
Mm-hmm.
that's what I tell my buyers. Can you
Mm-hmm.
live with this for a couple of years, then fix it up and then, elevate to the next level. So
I like that.
yeah, yeah.
And so the main thing now in terms of what sells, is it still kitchens and bathrooms? And so those are the main things you want to make sure is the most modern, or
Well,
whatever the
see,
style home.
not necessarily. Just
Uh,
know that even though kitchens, I look at the size of the kitchen. Is this something I
okay.
can work with in the future? Yes, I may
Mm.
not like the cabinets right now or the white appliances, but maybe if I put some stainless steel appliances in here, it makes the kitchen look totally different.
Ah. Or
You
just
know,
changing the little handles sometimes will
just
make a difference
changing
too.
or adding, or the countertops
And lighting.
and lighting. Exactly. You can plan if you're in a home and you've been there for a while, you can do one project a year because,
Hmm.
in 3 years, I'm going to put it on the market. But I wouldn't like to know that I was able to enjoy it for a couple of years before I sell.
And the value of what you just said is that if I do buy a home and I don't have all the bells and whistles that I want, I can always take out a home equity loan and
Absolutely.
then use that money to upgrade the home and then use the interest off of that as a tax write-off.
Right.
And so, there's some long-term strategies that we can kind of build into.
Yes. As
Now,
long as
will you
it's in the,
help folks that find property, just find land and want to build from the ground up? Are you able to manage
we've
that
done
project?
that. Yes, I've
Okay.
done that as well. Land, especially in this area, is seems to be so expensive now. And
Mhm.
then we have these large lots of land that are normally sold to builders instead of the onesie twosies.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you can find a lot, and it just may take a little time. And when you're looking at lots, you have to be careful to make sure that number one, it's okay to have septic, but it's great to be close to a main street or what have you where they already have public water
Right.
and sewage.
Yes.
Because if you have to pay to connect to that, that could be costly.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have builders out here like Caruso and others that will build one of their model homes on the lot that you purchase. Yeah, so there are options out there for that.
Okay, very good. Very good. If folks wanted to get in touch with you, they're looking for a house, they're looking for upgrades to their home, they have any other questions about real estate, how do they do that?
Yes, well, you can reach me at deidra.alexander@longandfoster.com. And my telephone number is 301-643-5194. If you'd want to reach me for any type of construction project management or ideas, you can reach me at D Alexander, that's DALEXANDER at aprooption.com.
I like that. That is awesome. Anything else that you want to share with folks before we go ahead and end this amazing chat?
So yes, as part of my real estate business, I am also a part of a two-person team, and we are the Real Property Probate Team, offering real solutions for your estate needs. So if ever you have any questions about uh, how to transact real estate that may be in an estate or in probate, we'd love to be of service to you. Um, if you have any questions, you can give us a call again at deidra.alexander@longandfoster.com, 301-643-5194. First, thank you for the opportunity to introduce a property resource option. And for all of those that are looking and listening, I'd love to be your pro in everything real estate.
I love that. Everyone, meet Deidre Alexander, my friend, and now yours. Thank you for sharing her story, your story with us.